Ever find yourself lying awake at night worrying about how you're going to pay the bills? You're not alone. We all know that sinking feeling, right? The one that gnaws at your peace, painting a grim picture of your financial future. It's like a shadow that looms large, casting a pall of gloom over even the happiest moments. That, my friends, is financial stress, and it's a burden many people shoulder. Now, don't think for a moment that you're the only one grappling with this. Financial stress is as common as the common cold, affecting people from all walks of life. It doesn't discriminate between the rich and the poor, the young and the old, the single and the married. It's like an unwelcome guest that overstays its welcome, causing discomfort and unease. And let's be clear here, there's no shame in admitting that you're feeling financially stressed. The truth is, it's a sign of the times. With the rising cost of living, stagnant wages, and an uncertain economic climate, it's no wonder that many of us are feeling the pinch. It's a hard pill to swallow, but it's a reality that needs to be acknowledged and addressed. But here's the thing, acknowledging the problem is the first step towards finding a solution. It's like turning on a flashlight in a dark room. Suddenly, you can see what's been tripping you up, and you can start figuring out how to navigate around it. That's the power of acknowledging financial stress. And that's exactly what we're here to do. We're here to shine a light on the issue, to help you understand it, and to guide you towards solutions that can alleviate your financial stress. We're here to tell you that it's okay to feel stressed, but it's not okay to let that stress control your life. But here's the good news. There's a path forward to alleviate this financial stress, and we're here to guide you through it. You're not alone in this journey. You've got a community of people rooting for you, ready to lend a helping hand. Remember, every journey starts with a single step, and today, we're taking that step together. First things first, we need to identify the problem. Let me tell you, understanding what's causing your financial stress is like having the map to the treasure. Is the dragon you're battling a mountain of debt? Or maybe it's a scarcity of income, leaving you scraping for coins at the end of the month? Or could it be that sneaky little imp we call overspending, always coaxing you into buying just one more thing? By pinpointing the root cause, you start to see the path that leads out of the financial fog. It's like solving a mystery where every clue brings you closer to the solution. So take a moment, do some detective work on your own finances. Unearth the skeleton in the closet, be it debt, income, or spending habits. Once you've identified the problem, you're already on your way to solving it. Now it's time to make a budget. Creating a budget is like drawing a map for your money, and it's simpler than you might think. We're going to break it down into 4 main parts: income, necessary expenses, discretionary spending, and savings. Let's start with income. This is the total amount of money you bring home each month. This could be from your 9-to-5 job, a side hustle, or any other sources of regular income you might have. Next, we have necessary expenses. These are the costs you absolutely can't avoid every month. Think rent or mortgage payments, utilities, groceries, and transportation. These are the non-negotiables, the things you need to survive and function. Then we have discretionary spending. This is where you have some wiggle room. Discretionary spending refers to the money you spend on things you want but don't necessarily need. It could be a night out with friends, a new pair of shoes, or a subscription to a streaming service. Lastly, we have savings. This is the money you set aside for future needs or emergencies. It's always a good idea to have a little cushion for unexpected expenses or to save up for something big like a vacation or a new car. Now, the key to making your budget work is balance. Your income should cover your necessary expenses, discretionary spending, and savings. If it doesn't, you'll need to make some adjustments. Maybe you need to cut back on discretionary spending or find ways to increase your income. Remember, a budget isn't about restricting you. It's about giving you control over your money. It's about knowing where every dollar is going and making sure it's going where you want it to. So take the time to sit down and make your budget. It might take a little effort at the start, but once you get the hang of it, it'll become second nature. A budget isn't a prison. It's a roadmap to financial freedom. Let's get real about cutting expenses. In our quest to alleviate financial stress and pay down debt, it's essential to find ways to reduce spending. It's about making conscious decisions and letting go of certain luxuries, at least for a while. But don't worry, none of these will require you to live like a hermit. So let's dive in. First off, let's talk about food. Cooking at home can be a game changer. Not only is it healthier, but it can also save you a considerable amount of money. Picture this. A takeout meal costs on average around $20. Now, if you cook at home, you can prepare a similar meal for about $5. That's a saving of $15 per meal. Multiply that by the number of times you order out in a month and you've got yourself a nice chunk of change. Next, let's tackle subscriptions. How many streaming services are you subscribed to? Do you use them all? How about gym memberships, magazine subscriptions, or other monthly services? If you're not using them, it's time to cut them loose. Remember, these small monthly fees add up over time, and before you know it, you're spending hundreds of dollars on unused services. Lastly, become a savvy shopper. Sales are your new best friends. Whether it's groceries, clothing, or household items, always look out for sales and discounts. Also, consider buying in bulk for non-perishable items. It might seem like you're spending more at first, but in the long run, you'll be saving quite a bit. Now I know what you're thinking. Cutting expenses sounds like a lot of work. But here's the thing, it's not about depriving yourself. It's about making smarter choices. It's about realizing that every dollar saved is not just a dollar earned, but a dollar that can be used to reduce your debt. So let's start making these changes, $1 at a time. And remember, every dollar saved is a dollar that can go toward reducing your debt. Reducing spending is great, but increasing income can be even more effective. Now let's shift our perspective from curtailing expenses to boosting the cash inflow. Remember, every little bit helps, so don't underestimate the impact of even a small increase in your income. One of the most straightforward ways to increase your income is to consider taking on a part-time job. There are countless opportunities out there, both online and in your local community. From delivering pizzas to tutoring students or even walking dogs, the opportunities are endless. The key here is to find something that fits into your schedule and doesn't exhaust you to the point where it affects your primary job. In today's digital age, another lucrative avenue to explore is freelancing. If you have a skill, there's a good chance someone out there is willing to pay for it. Whether it's graphic design, writing, programming, or even social media management, the freelance market is booming. Websites like Upwork or Fiverr are great platforms to start with. The beauty of freelancing is that you can work at your own pace from the comfort of your home. Next up, consider selling unused items. Are there things lying around your house that you haven't used in years? Well, one man's trash is another man's treasure. Websites like eBay or Craigslist or even a good old-fashioned garage sale can turn your clutter into cash. Remember, increasing your income doesn't always mean working more. It could also mean making more from what you're already doing. Negotiating a raise at work or investing in further education or training to climb the career ladder can also bring in that extra cash. Let's not forget passive income. This could mean investing in stocks, real estate, or even starting a blog or YouTube channel. While these methods require some upfront investment, they can provide a steady income stream over time. Increasing your income, even just a little, can make a big difference in your financial situation. So start exploring these avenues today and watch your financial stress start to diminish. Now that we've addressed spending and income, it's time to tackle the big one: debt. Just like navigating a labyrinth, paying down debt can seem daunting, but with the right strategy, you can find your way out. The first approach is to pay more than the minimum payment. Every dollar above the minimum you pay is a dollar less in interest you'll owe down the line. This strategy can save you time and money in the long haul. Next, consider focusing on high-interest debt first. This method, often called the avalanche method, has you paying off debts with the highest interest rates first, while making minimum payments on your other debts. The rationale behind this strategy is simple. The faster you clear high-interest debt, the less you'll pay in interest over time. It's like removing the sharpest thorn first. It might be painful initially, but it will make the rest of your journey less troublesome. Remember, if you're feeling overwhelmed, it's okay to seek professional help. Credit counselors, financial advisors, and debt relief services can provide the guidance and support you need. They can help you understand your options, such as debt consolidation or negotiation, and can assist in creating a personalized debt repayment plan. It's like having a seasoned guide to help you navigate this financial labyrinth. One important thing to bear in mind is that paying down debt is not a sprint, it's a marathon. It's not about how fast you can reach the finish line, but rather, it's about maintaining a steady pace that you can sustain over time. So, don't be discouraged if progress seems slow. Remember, even the largest mountain can be moved one stone at a time. Paying down debt won't happen overnight, but every step you take gets you closer to financial freedom. So keep going, keep pushing. The road to financial freedom may be long and winding, but remember, the journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single step. Your step today is a stride towards a debt-free tomorrow. One last piece of the puzzle: building an emergency fund. This is more than just a piggy bank for rainy days. It's your financial safety net, your buffer against life's unpredictable hiccups. An emergency fund is that stash of cash set aside to cover the financial surprises that life throws your way. Now, you might be thinking, how can I possibly save when I'm barely making ends meet? Well, the key here is to start small. You don't need to have thousands tucked away immediately. Start by setting aside a small amount from each paycheck. It could be as little as $10. The important thing is to make it a habit. Over time, these small amounts will add up. Next, consider automating your savings. Set up a direct deposit from your paycheck into a separate savings account. This way, you won't even see the money, reducing the temptation to spend it. Now, let's talk about how much you should aim to save. A good rule of thumb is to have enough to cover 3 to 6 months' worth of living expenses. This might sound daunting, but remember, you're not aiming to hit this target overnight. You're building this fund gradually, one paycheck at a time. It's also important to keep this fund easily accessible, yet separate from your regular checking account. This way, you can get to it when you need it, but it's not too easy to dip into for everyday expenses. Remember, building an emergency fund isn't about restricting your spending. It's about giving yourself the freedom to handle unexpected expenses without stress or debt. It's about providing a safety net for yourself and your loved ones. So, start today. Even if it's just a few dollars, make that commitment to yourself. Over time, you'll find that having an emergency fund isn't just about the money. It's about the peace of mind that comes with knowing you're prepared for whatever life throws your way. An emergency fund gives you peace of mind, knowing you're prepared for whatever comes your way. We've covered a lot of ground today, and you're now armed with the tools you need to alleviate financial stress. Let's take a moment to quickly recap what we've discussed, so you can confidently step forward on this journey towards financial freedom. Firstly, we acknowledge the elephant in the room: financial stress. It's a common issue, and there's absolutely no shame in facing it. The key is to identify the problem and to understand that you have the power to change your situation. Next, we dove into the importance of making a budget. Understanding where your money goes each month is the first step to gaining control over your finances. With a clear budget, you can see where you might need to make changes and where you can save. Then, we explored ways to cut expenses, whether it's canceling unused subscriptions, cooking at home more often, or shopping secondhand. Every little bit counts. Remember, small savings add up over time, and every cent you save can go towards paying down your debt. We also spoke about increasing your income. This could be through a side hustle, selling unused items, or negotiating a raise at work. The extra income will give you a bit of breathing room and help you pay off your debts faster. Then, we discussed the importance of paying down debt. Start by tackling high-interest debts first, and then move on to the others. By doing this, you're not only reducing your debt, but also the amount of interest you're paying. Finally, we discussed the significance of building an emergency fund. Life is unpredictable, and having a safety net can prevent you from falling back into debt during unforeseen circumstances. Remember, you're not alone in this journey. It's time to take control of your finances and start living a life free of financial stress. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more helpful tips. Take care, everybody.